How one ad destroyed Jaguar's billion-dollar empire by CoreSight. Interesting. I do not know. All I know is that Jaguar sells cars. I wonder, is this the ad that I think about it is? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if it is the ad that I think about. Let's actually see. I'm curious. I'm very curious if it is.
In November 2024, Jaguar posted a 30-second ad.
It is that ad. See, obviously, this is clearly a very woke ad. And you know what this is? Why this is bad? Why this isn't working? That's because the people depicted here do not buy their products. If you market to an audience, right? The modern audience, right? As people, the modern audience that does not exist, you're not going to sell anything. And I feel like this is very clearly that is very clearly this exact ad does very much reflect that.
Advertisement. No cars, just models in bright colors and the phrase "copy nothing." Within 48 hours, the video reached over 110 million people. Elon Musk's response captured the confusion. Do you sell cars? 5 months later, the answer was barely. 49 vehicles sold across Europe in a single month.
You do not sell cars. You're going to sell the company.
Down from 1,961 the year before. This is the
What the that's a more than 100% decrease. What the fuck? Hey, yo, that's crazy.
Story of how attention became crisis and how a 102-year-old brand gambled everything on a vision that hasn't arrived yet. By 2024,
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Jaguar faced a problem most companies never recover from. They were selling cars but making almost no money doing it. CEO Adrian Mardell stated publicly that Jaguar's models were generating close to zero profitability. The company was burning resources.
A classic. You rebrand, go woke, go broke, get broke, whatever it was the saying. It works perfectly. Well, copy nothing, sell nothing, it seems. Very much. Yeah. The woke rebrand is a commercial masterstroke. Definitely. Definitely shooting yourself in the foot.
While competitors grew stronger. The numbers revealed the depth of the challenge. Global sales had fallen from 180,833 units in 2018 to just 67,000 vehicles in fiscal 2024. In the first half of 2025, that number dropped another 40%, leaving Jaguar representing only 8% of parent company Jaguar Land Rover's total volume. Meanwhile, their sister brand Land Rover posted record results. The Defender alone sold 115,000 units, nearly double.
Surprise, surprise. Could it be that woke marketing to cars that are mostly bought by men, white dudes in particular, how could that have, such an ad could have impacted that?
Jaguar's entire lineup. Same parent company, same economic conditions, same manufacturing capabilities. Land Rover thrived while Jaguar struggled. The assessment: Jaguar couldn't compete in the mid-luxury segment anymore. Mercedes, BMW, and Audi dominated that space with superior products and stronger brand equity. Leadership made a decision. Rather than slowly fade competing against stronger rivals, they would abandon that market entirely and move upmarket, targeting ultra-luxury territory occupied by Bentley and Rolls-Royce. Cars priced above $130,000. Sell far fewer vehicles, but make substantially more profit on each one. Quality over quantity, exclusivity over accessibility. They called the strategy Reimagine.
As a business, we will be focused on value creation, on delivering quality and profit over volume.
But the number that would arrive just months later, 49 vehicles sold, would suggest something had gone seriously wrong in the execution.
Yeah, because the core audience of the core market, the people that buy these cars, are still not what you are trying. They are still not the people that you are trying to sell to, which is interesting.
In 2021, Jaguar announced a complete transformation. Every existing model would be discontinued by end of 2020.
That's one. It's not the ad. The car is ugly. That's one ugly car.
The brand would transition to all-electric vehicles and undergo.
What, were you trying to copy Tesla? Copy nothing, huh? Sure, buddy. Yeah, that shit looks ugly. Who would want to drive around with that looks ugly as shit, I'll be real.
Total rebranding. Managing Director Rawdon Glover explained the reasoning. We need to re-establish our brand at a completely different price point. If we play in the same way that everybody else does, we'll just get drowned out. Chief Creative Officer Jerry McGovern, who had successfully designed the Land Rover Defender and Range Rover Evoque over his 21-year tenure, developed a new creative philosophy called exuberant modernism. Then came what the company called a firebreak, a complete production halt. By December 2024, every Jaguar model would cease production. The F-Type sports car, the XE and XF sedans, the E-Pace and I-Pace SUVs, everything. Dealerships would remain empty for over a year while the company prepared 3 all-new electric vehicles for a late 2026 launch. The first would be a 4-door GT priced around $130,000 with a targeted range of up to 470.
What is that ugly thing?
78 miles, roughly twice what traditional Jaguar sedans cost, but the new lineup wouldn't arrive until late 2026. For more than a year, Jaguar would generate essentially zero revenue from new car sales, depending entirely on parent company Tata Motors' financial support. Leadership believed this dramatic break was necessary.
This feels like loss of identity combined with ideology and not knowing who you even sell those cars to.
The logic: you can't build loyalty to a new brand identity while still selling cars that represent the old one. To preview the transformation, they plan to unveil the Type 00 concept car at Miami Art Week in December 2024. First, though, came the rebrand launch in November. Within 48 hours of that launch, the response would determine the strategy's fate. On November 18, 2024, Jaguar deleted their entire social media history. Years of posts, customer interaction,
just because of one ad. One ad completely demolished this company. Peak.
Brand heritage, all gone. The following day, the rebrand launched. The iconic leaping Jaguar logo, recognized globally for nearly a century, was eliminated from the main branding. In its place, a minimalist wordmark mixing upper and lowercase letters, Jaguar, with capital G and U for what the company called visual harmony. New slogans.
It looks worse. It looks worse. The Jaguar is literally the face of the company, and you've removed it for a incredibly standard, golden, disgusting text.
Appeared. Delete ordinary. Live vivid. Create exuberant. Break molds. And most prominently, copy nothing, a phrase the company traced back to founder Sir William Lyons. Then, the 30-second advertisement released. Androgynous models in brightly colored avant-garde clothing, holding sledgehammers and paintbrushes, posing in abstract pink geometric landscapes. Not a single car appeared in the entire spot. The response was immediate and widespread. Tesla CEO Elon Musk posted 4 words: "Do you sell cars?" Within 48 hours, Jaguar's rebrand video had generated over 160 million views across social media platforms, with Musk's 4-word question becoming the most viral reaction. German newspaper Bild ran a poll asking readers for their opinion. 93% of nearly 18,000 respondents voted the rebrand creepy and said it no longer has anything to do with Jaguar. Critics, including
Car, you're a car company. You don't show an ad with car. This is with a car. This is like making this is like, what is it? Oh, this is like make an ad for a movie without showing the movie. This is like making an ad for a video game without showing the video game. What are you doing? Yeah, deserved. Glorious punishment.
British politician Nigel Farage warned it was commercial suicide.
I predict Jaguar will now go bust. And you know
And he was correct.
what? They deserve to.
The criticism centered on a specific disconnect: a car company launching an advertisement with no cars at the exact moment they needed to convince customers to wait over a year for new.
No car with an ad. Again, they have nothing to show for. They make a woke ad. They make an ad that has nothing to do with their customer, like their core customers. What are we doing? This is like trying to sell chocolate This is diet food. What are you doing?
Vehicles. 2 weeks later, December 2nd, 2024, the Type 00 concept revealed at Miami Art Week. Presented in two colors, Miami pink and London blue, the angular design departed dramatically from traditional Jaguars. Social media reactions ranged from comparisons to Barbie's car and the Tesla Cybertruck to air conditioning vents. One commenter wrote, "00 is how many you'll sell, beyond ugly. The real test would come 5 months
It's true though. These are ugly. They have nothing to do with cars.
later." April 2025, the sales data provided the answer. According to the European Automobile Manufacturers Association, Jaguar registered 49 vehicles in all of Europe, compared to 1,961 units in April 2024, a 97.5% year-over-year decline.
Well, I said over 100%, but I'm still pretty close. Crazy.
Jaguar's response was straightforward. These numbers reflected their intentional production halt, not market rejection. No production meant no inventory to sell. It was a fair point. You can't sell cars you're not making, but it raised a bigger question. Did the transition have to work this way? Competitors suggested it didn't. BMW kept selling their traditional 3 Series and 5 Series sedans while introducing electric options like the iX and i4. The result?
Well, obviously, it's technically not the ad that destroyed it, but it showed loss of identity, loss of direction, and you don't know who you're even selling these cars to. Like I said before, it's very simple. This happens to a lot of companies and a lot of things. This happens to video games where suddenly you put in things that your core audience never wanted. And now they're confused and they are not liking it and they're not buying it. And you can tell they're not buying it because, well, layoffs. We can tell. Every time there's a layoff happening, we know why that is.
Electric vehicle sales rose 32.4% year-over-year in Q1 2025. This worked because it gave customers control. Those ready for electric could buy immediately, while those not ready could continue with gasoline models without feeling abandoned or pressured. Mercedes-Benz integrated EQ electric technology into their existing E-Class and S-Class platforms rather than discontinuing everything. They maintained customer relationships during the transition by letting people stay with familiar models while electric options matured. Audi kept their A4 and A6 in showrooms while introducing the e-tron line. Electric sales jumped 50.4%.
And they look like cars. Let's mention that. They look like cars and not glorified sci-fi toasters.
The pattern was clear. Successful transitions offered customers choices, not ultimatums. They respected existing relationships while building new ones. They gave people a bridge, not a cliff. Jaguar had chosen the cliff. Dealerships across Europe and America remained largely empty. The company announced plans to reduce their US dealer network from 122 locations to just 20 curated stores. The consequences were just beginning. In May 2025, Jaguar terminated their relationship with advertising agency Accenture Song, despite having a contract through mid-2026. 3 months later, CEO Adrian Mardell announced his retirement after 35 years with the company. His replacement, PB Balaji, formerly CFO of parent company Tata Motors, took over November 17, 2025. 2 weeks later, exactly 1 year after the Type 00 reveal, one more executive would leave. December 2, 2025, exactly 1 year after unveiling the Type 00 concept, Jerry McGovern's 21-year career at Jaguar Land Rover ended. The chief creative officer was dismissed with immediate effect. Industry sources reported that McGovern was escorted out of the office. McGovern had successfully designed some of JLR's most commercially successful vehicles.
Escorted out? What did my man do? What did he do? Interesting. Okay.
Range Rover Evoque, the Land Rover Defender, the Range Rover Velar. His most recent project, the Jaguar rebrand, had generated significant attention but limited commercial success. Notably, McGovern's own design team had expressed concerns.
Surprised, the car is ugly as shit.
Earlier. In 2022, more than 24 designers sent him a letter objecting to outsourcing the rebrand to Accenture Song, rather than keeping it in-house. Reports from automotive industry publications described the mood at Jaguar dealerships during this period. Many dealers reported similar experiences, customers inquiring about new models with no vehicles available to show, no test drives to offer, and only concept images to display. Some customers indicated they would consider competing brands rather than wait. The company declined to officially comment on McGovern's departure. 1 year after the rebrand launched, the consequences were clear. Sales collapsed 97.5%. The ad agency was terminated, the CEO retired.
So the ad agency that made the ad got bombarded. CEOs, other important figures just annihilated. Crazy. What a downfall. Take the L.
And the creative officer was escorted out. Meanwhile, parent company Jaguar Land Rover posted record profits of £2.5 billion in fiscal year 2025, driven entirely by Land Rover's success. The luxury car market remained healthy, competitors were growing. The challenge was specifically Jaguar's approach. The question became, what exactly went wrong? December 2025, Jaguar exists in a state of transition with an uncertain outcome. No new cars are being sold, production remains halted, the first vehicle from their electric lineup won't arrive until late 2026 at the earliest, over 2 years after production stopped. Some data suggests reasons for optimism. Website traffic increased 110%.
Here's what I believe went wrong. Somebody in this company went stupid. Right? The rebrand happened because, well, every company needs a woke rebrand nowadays. That means loss of identity, not loss of target audience because you're not targeting the people that you actually sell those cars to. Logically, proven by the ad itself. Loss of identity. You rebranded. You changed your logo, which was one of the core aspects of what made Jaguar very visible. It is the Jaguar. The weird shitty text. Dumb decision. If you're not exactly like a monopoly somewhere, this doesn't work. This is a bad decision. And then you lose the trust in the buyers. It's that simple. And then, of course, bad financial decisions because of the loss of identity.
After the rebrand, research indicated that 20% more people now see Jaguar as a brand worth paying more for, and awareness rose 23%. But awareness and actual purchases are different things, and the data available today points to 3 critical mistakes. First, Jaguar's messaging told existing customers their preferences represented the problem, not the solution. The "delete ordinary" slogan wasn't just marketing language, it was a declaration that everything before was ordinary, including the people who bought those cars. Compare this to successful reinventions. When Apple expanded from computers to phones, Steve Jobs didn't tell Mac users they were obsolete. When Porsche introduced the Cayenne SUV, they didn't abandon 911 enthusiasts. These brands respected their heritage while expanding their reach. They added, they didn't subtract. Jaguar subtracted first and planned to add later. Second, the company generated massive attention. The rebrand ad received over 160 million views, with Elon Musk's forward response becoming its defining moment. But attention without credibility creates problems for 6-figure purchases where trust determines outcomes. When Porsche launched the electric Taycan, they brought journalists to test tracks and let them experience the vehicle. When Tesla launched, Elon Musk had already built credibility through years of delivering against skepticism with the Roadster and Model S. Jaguar asked customers to trust them based on abstract concepts, bright pink concept cars, and promises of vehicles arriving in over 2 years. No test drives, no reviews, no proof. Just delete your history, trust us, wait 24 months. Third, the company stopped all production, eliminated their brand history, alienated their customer base, and bet everything on...
Like I said, loss of identity led to bad financial decisions for the company.
Vehicles that wouldn't arrive for over 2 years, with no contingency plan. CEO Mardell had explained that existing models generated close to zero.
Like, if I see this as a Jaguar, right? If I see this as like a white dude buying Jaguar cars, yeah, I ain't buying that shit anymore. I'll be real. Like, I as a guy... Like, even just as a guy who would buy luxury cars, if I see this shit, I know exactly where your priorities lie. And they do not lie with wanting to sell me a car, wanting to keep me as a customer. They lie with political ideology.
Profitability, which made discontinuing them seem logical, and Tata Motors' financial strength provided the resources to attempt this transformation. But financial capability isn't the same as strategic wisdom. The question isn't, can we afford to try this? The question is, what happens if this doesn't work? Jaguar's answer, we'll find out in 2026. Here's what we know today. In 2024, Jaguar was selling 1,961 vehicles per month in Europe. The brand had problems, profitability near zero, sales declining, market position weakening, but 1,961 customers per month still chose Jaguar over BMW, Mercedes, and Audi. In April 2025, that number was 49. The vehicles arriving in 2026 will determine whether this represents necessary transformation or excessive risk, whether the dramatic break created the space for reinvention or simply broke the connection with customers who might have made the journey if given the choice. The lesson for other businesses: courage and recklessness can look identical from the starting line. The difference only becomes clear at the finish. Courage respects what brought you here while building.
Note for future employers. Know who you're selling your products to. Do not alienate your customer base. Do not get involved with any at all political agenda, ideology. Sell product to people who are willing to buy product. It's that simple. Market your product to an audience that is willing to buy your product, not an audience that does not exist.
What comes next. It offers customers a bridge and lets them cross at their pace. Recklessness burns the bridge before confirming there's land on the other side. Jaguar burned the bridge in November 2024. They'll find out in late 2026 if there's land on the other side. But the
And don't try to sell cars to fat women.
number 49 suggests they better hope there is.
Yeah. They are cooked if they don't know how to make a turn here. It's incredibly funny that the term, once again, going woke, going broke, seems to be something that is... It works like clockwork. It's like clockwork. Reset the clock. It happens every single time. Yeah, I think it really comes down to losing identity, and because you lost identity, you made bad financial decisions, because eventually you start to question, who am I even selling these cars to? You tried to find a new audience, a modern audience. That modern audience did not like you. Surprise, surprise. They are not willing to buy your cars because they are not your audience. They don't buy cars. It makes sense. Regardless, let's see what they can do. Let's see if they can change things. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.